great content.
What? It's not great content.
Is it still recording?
Yeah, this is all being recorded.
I don't want to talk to you.
I'm boring.
Yeah, it's from Dudley.
Yeah. Literally.
What are you doing, lads? Are we talking about Aaron's knees?
If you want to.
Are we talking about your knees?
Well, yeah, if you want to.
So last time you were here...
Okay, but just speak to...
I don't want to talk to Aaron. It feels weird and forced. He's got very clammy hands.
I have.
Are you nervous?
Toilet. I did wash.
Okay. I just pissed on my hands. Last time you were here,
Yeah, I was getting ready to...
were prepping for the...
I was getting ready to turn professional, then do the Arnold Classic,
Yeah.
and then I was going to win the Olympia this year, if you remember.
Yeah, and
that didn't really
instead,
work.
you're now disabled.
Yeah.
Do you have a blue badge?
Without the blue badge, no.
Okay, so no benefits at all, really.
Not really.
And people have assumed, people have told me that you're never going to compete again.
Did they really notice before? It's not like I was very good at it. Let's be honest.
So you're going to compete again?
Yeah, well, I'd like to. Yeah.
Okay.
I do even shitter than I did before.
No, if you don't win, then you can claim victimisation. So we're supposed to be talking about fitness gripes.
Yes.
I don't have any gripes. I love
Yes,
the whole
you fucking
fitness.
do.
I love the whole
Just
fitness
listen.
industry.
You have so many gripes.
2 minutes
ago
ago
you were
gripes.
saying about people's
I dislike
progress, but half of our
that
conversations
Will
are
still
gripes.
looks better than most of us, despite the fact that he doesn't give any fucks anymore.
0.
None. That's not fair.
It's quite cool.
I think one of the things that is great as a brand and is difficult here, one of the things that's great as a brand and has allowed business to grow so well, is that fitness has become very accessible. But because fitness has become very accessible, there are lots of people doing it who really enjoy it, and that's great. And I'm not saying if you don't enjoy it, you shouldn't do it. But who are never going to be any good from a physique development perspective.
Yeah.
And it's then the height of bad taste to maybe
Everybody wants to be
reference
famous. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be on a journey. Everybody wants to, like.
And I think terms like bodybuilder, powerlifter, stuff, they're terms that have to be earned. I know people argue about what makes a bodybuilder, what makes a powerlifter, but it's very on trend at the moment. Within 3 months of joining the gym, to give yourself an identity,
Or to enter a bikini class and turn pro.
So could we maybe set a line to what you guys think is an acceptable point to call yourself a powerlifter or a bodybuilder?
So I think the thing for me, when I started at the gym, you've been training, 10 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. And Laz has been in the gym since he was born. You started going to the gym because you wanted to go to the gym and you enjoyed training. And over time, you would find something you were good at. And then you would start to identify with that thing and you might look to compete or whatever.
Like cross-dressing.
Yeah. Whereas now, you join the gym and because everyone wants to belong to a thing, you immediately go, well, I'm going to the gym because I'm going to be a powerlifter. As opposed to going to the gym, finding what you're good at and then start to identify with that. So I don't think there's like a line or a point where you say you can now identify as this, but just learn your craft, learn the gym, spend time in the gym and enjoy it, and don't worry too much about being a something.
The cream rises, it's like pro cards.
Cream rice is like pro cards.
No, cream rises to the top, but it's
nothing
like
to
the
do with
pro
cream
cards.
rice.
No, well, it could be. It's like the pro card situation. You might get a pro card, but are you really going to do anything as a pro?
Are you talking to yourself here? Or?
No, I'm never.
I just feel like that was very poignant.
I'm never going to get a pro card, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Does it bother you or make you a little bit sad that back when we used to remember competing at when it was right?
Yeah.
That there was only ever one IFBB pro that came out of the UK.
I think it's fair to say that maybe one was a little bit limiting, but the other end of the spectrum makes it far less special.
It was very prestigious.
Was it
It's still
2016?
2016 was the goal.
2016 was the year, wasn't it? When it was Aaron,
17 was
Luke,
alright. But I
Hollingshead.
didn't do 17.
Was Joe Howell on stage that
Yeah,
year?
it was, yeah.
Like all of the boys.
Samson was there. Laurie Carr was there.
It feels like that's when heavyweight bodybuilding peaked in the UK.
That was special.
Even though arguably the standard is higher now and there are more top level athletes and stuff, but that just felt like that was a year where every single one of those athletes was very, very good. And it was exciting and who's going to win. Whereas now, if you had that same final, every single person in that final, if they didn't win, would find 3 other shows to go and try and get a pro card at within 2 months. Whereas then, it was like, right, well, this is your shot, and if you fuck it, you're waiting until next year.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's quite cool to be able to say, well, okay, I missed this one, but I'm still of quality. I don't want to wait till next year. I'm going to fly off to the arse end of butt fuck and get 2nd or 3rd and still get a pro card. I've answered my own question.
I don't know, like... I've never competed at that level and I'm never going to.
It hasn't been a good or bad thing.
it's still difficult. I mean, the standards. The thing is, it's like before it was like the UK. It was the UK, whereas now it's like the world. So there's people. I mean, I've been on stage with people from the Middle East, people from.
Yeah, the show you were at, you could enter from anywhere, couldn't you? They're Italians and stuff.
Yeah, the British was supposed to be just the British, but the British was supposed to be just the British. The Amateur Olympia is for everybody. The Arnold's are for everybody.
Yeah.
Aaron, what's something that you hate about the fitness industry?
I think I've mellowed out. I'm very much now live and let live. I can give a shit.
Are you coming to FedEx?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
literally chose this subject because you're a grumpy old cunt and you're a grumpy old cunt.
I'm not a grumpy old cunt.
You both
Do you know what
I'm
annoys
not
me?
kidding,
People calling me a grumpy old cunt.
Well, I mean,
I am a nice guy. I'm one of the nicest guys I know. All these people here today, they're all here because they like my pleasant demeanour.
well, Aaron likes to challenge people into diplomatic situations. He's
Yeah,
very
but I
good.
mostly agree with
I
them.
like to make people think. That's what I would do. If you've got a belief, I'm like right.
You like to make people think they're fucking idiots.
Well, no, if they reveal themselves as fucking idiots, but as long as they think.
How are you enjoying Brexit? Because we agree on most topics.
Mate,
We agree on most topics, but Brexit is a horse show. A horse show?
No, it is. I agree. The concept of Brexit is fantastic, but it was done badly.
Have you seen Liam from HR Labs' story on it?
I'm banned on Instagram for 24 hours.
So
I don't know why.
when Liam talked about all the problems he was having from Brexit, he had quite a few people message him and say, like, yeah, but we've got a deal, so it's fine.
It's
And
not- it's
we
not
don't
a
have a
deal,
deal.
no,
It's
no,
just
we
a
don't.
lie. It's
a lie.
bollocks.
See, what's happened is we've got the Remainers, and you've got me, who's like, us who are the hardcore Brexiteers who just want the
Don't
UK to do really
include.
well.
No, and I'm not.
No, I didn't mean you. I mean like.
You said us.
Yeah, not us. It's mutually exclusive. But, and then there's what the Conservatives. The Conservatives have sat on the fence this whole way through so badly that they've got splinters in their fucking arseholes.
Assholes. Theresa May's deal was better.
No, it
What's
wasn't.
really weird from us as a brand's perspective is that we send stuff to Holland and France and it's fine, and then we send stuff to the Germans, and I assume that they've still got sand up their butt about the whole situation, and they just say fuck off.
Probably.
And from what I understand, there isn't like an agreed international.
To my face. The thing is, Brexit is bigger than trade. Brexit is also about law. Brexit is also about immigration. Brexit's also about border. The EU is corrupt, and it's another layer of government.
So we've stopped allowing people that are useful to immigrate.
But it's not though.
Well, like the two Swedishes here have had to apply
Oh, of
for
course,
permission
yeah,
to
of
stay.
course, yeah, of course. But if
But
you-
the illegal immigrants, they were illegal before. They'll still be here.
Again, the Conservatives. Aren't they great? No, they're fucking wankers. That's the problem here. Brexit in itself, as in the UK, can now freely make its own trade deals, its own regulations, its own laws, control its borders. It's fucking fantastic.
But to
We
stay
did-
in some kind of single market, we're still just following their rules. Yeah, so when we export stuff, we have to fill out a document called a proof of preferential origin status. And that basically says that these products have been manufactured in the UK, which means that they still meet EU spec.
which
so-
is ridiculous.
So we're still following their spec
Yeah,
on
yeah,
supplements.
yeah.
And that then can go into the EU without any customs because it meets their single market criteria.
Right.
But if we bring any products in from the States, that doesn't, and then it pays import duties.
See, for me, the way I see it is the EU is so bureaucratised.
So
that's even
so
worse.
the point is
Yeah.
that before, if you bring stuff in from America,
Yeah.
you would pay duties as you bring it into the EU, and then you could move it around the EU
Yeah.
duty free.
Because you pay taxes. Yeah.
But we're still paying duties to bring stuff in from America, and then we're paying duties again to bring it into the
I know.
EU.
And there's still no free trade deal with the US. See, the way it should have been done was, whilst Trump was in office and wanted a free trade deal, was said, right, what's that thing?
I feel like they're judging us.
This is like question time. Whilst Trump was in office, we should have gone, right, okay, yeah, let's sign this trade deal, get on board with CAN's UK, so Canada, New Zealand, the UK.
Oh, I keep getting
so-
emails from the government saying exciting new trade opportunities in Canada. No one in Canada's jacked. There's that one
Well,
guy.
part of it.
Yeah, he's the only guy.
There's a few others.
It's just one.
Fuad? You can't say Fuad isn't jacked.
No,
He's
Fuad's
your
pretty
mate.
jacked.
You know what I really like about Fuad's podcast is he's now the least famous person on there.
We send quite a lot of stuff to the States, but we don't tend to get a lot of repeat custom from the States, I think, because just people want to try stuff, but then when you factor in the cost of the shipping,
It's a lot.
it's not worth, in the same way that I've bought bits from American, like I bought Blackstone Labs and stuff,
Under Armour, I import because it's rare as fuck over here.
Yeah.
But like, it is
and you want to be the Rock.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Just need to be darker and bold.
Great content.
What? It's not great.
Is he still
Just
recording?
chat shit.
Yeah, this is all been recorded.
Get the record. Delete it. Snap it in half.
When you move to
Aaron,
America.
what would you like Rick to make that he doesn't, supplement-wise?
Well, Digest Max was my.
Digest Max was very much Aaron's. Aaron wanted to do a fibre product.
Yeah.
And the fibre products on the market are okay as fibre products, but they're lacking some other bits.
I've got one.
Where is
No,
hang on.
no.
Just first, where's Digest Max in terms? Bestsellers. Where's Digest Max now?
It's you know what? It's growing rapidly. It's
What's
becoming
the
one of those
bestseller?
things. Neuro,
What about second?
Support Max joint, and then probably Digest Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, products you would make, or product you would make without the limit of legality.
Trend. I mean,
You definitely make like a. So I actually did an article about this. Check out British Strength magazine, next issue for it.
you were writing for British Strength magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the article was called "Was Your Granddad's Pre-Workout Really All That?" Because we all look back at stuff like Jack 3D and go, "Oh, fucking pre-workout was so much better back in the day," and they were better stimulants because they weren't restricted by regulations for stimulants. But actually, in terms of efficacious doses of performance-enhancing ergogenic ingredients, they're dog shit. Like Jack 3D, there's some DMAA in it, which is great. There's some caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Everything else is just pixie dust bollocks. So if you get a product like HR Labs DFU or our Stimumax, whatever, where you've got a good dose of all of those ergogenic ingredients and just fuck some DMAA into it, you would have an awesome product. I mean, we used to be able to just sell straight ephedrine over the counter. I think it was only quite low dose. We were allowed to sell there like 15 milligrams or something, but that was great. So a pre-workout like that, I would love to make a really over-the-top, ridiculous health supplement, but I can't because of cost. Just because no one would buy it.
No, people would buy it though.
Do you think?
You slap a Strom label on it, people would buy it.
So when we first
Including
did,
your meal replacement idea, 'cause I think that's a really good idea.
the factory has now bought a blender specially for me so they can do runs of that size. The issue with it is just cost, but the more people I've spoken to, they're like, so it's going to be like 90 quid for a month's worth. It's like, yeah, so that's like 3 quid a day.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I spend 10 quid a day on junk food.
You go to Boots or Tesco, you do a meal deal.
Yeah.
What do you pay for it?
And it tastes really good. It's a whole food based gainer. I tell you what we have got coming up. Exclusive news. We have a reds and green with artichokes extract product coming.
A greens product.
A greens and reds.
The Reds?
I thought you'd never do a greens product.
I wouldn't, but people keep asking for them. And then I spent some time reading into artichoke extract about 6 months ago. And I was like, I need to put that in something because it does loads of cool shit. And it's a gap that we don't have. And I really like the Dr. Dean Greens product. That's really good. But they keep running out of stock.
Is it going to be a powder or a tablet?
Powder. Because of the serving size.
Tastes nice.
So for those of the people that maybe are newer or maybe they didn't experience DMAA in its glory days, can you please explain to everyone, or maybe even give a couple stories?
It's just happy and euphoric.
But like, say someone like me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play about anything, didn't
Yeah.
even know about it.
Have you had MDMA?
I've never had anything.
Because chemically it's not that dissimilar, it's just much shorter
Yeah,
acting.
but what I'm saying is, someone like, if someone watches this video and says,
Yeah.
oh, Rick from Strom says something about this, whatever Will takes to versus what I could take could do something damaging to me. Versus
You know, like that
so,
first sunny day of spring when you go out in the morning, you know what, fucking life's good.
Right.
That with like 4 espressos.
I don't drink coffee, so.
Well, how am I going to explain it to you?
No, I'm not saying, I'm just using.
I'm not saying that.
I'm a bad
I'm just
person.
saying, explain to me what it's like without any reference to anything else I've ever taken.
Right, someone then drinks coffee, someone that really
Yeah.
that.
It's a lot of coffee.
It's happy coffee.
It's right, yeah.
Okay.
Happy coffee.
You don't
But
want to eat. You've got. I keep doing that. Fuck myself in the eye. Jesus. It's like
I've only ever had MDMA once, I'll point out, and it was on a day when I had to pack boxes, and it was the best day I've ever had.
packing boxes.
Honestly, I just had a busy day, staff had phoned in sick, a quarter of a tablet of MDMA, and I packed boxes, and I listened to, like, Ibiza classics, and I had the fucking best day I've ever had.
Do you have
It's like a
any-
party for one. Isn't it?
You see that thing a while ago? You know what, though? In supplements, there's certain things that I think should be more regulated,
Such
and I
as.
know I'm not a fan of regulation generally.
Yeah.
Caffeine powder.
I've got a big fucking tub of that
Yeah.
stuff.
So you can buy a raw, but if you have a teaspoon of caffeine powder, there's a fair chance you'll die.
Yeah,
There's another one.
you literally use like that much.
Two
like,
months ago or a month ago, another lad in the UK had a teaspoon of caffeine powder making his own pre-workout. And I realise there's an element of Darwinism and stuff, and if this is your brother and you're watching, I'm sorry. There's an element of Darwinism, but that's a really simple mistake to make if you don't know. If you just don't know, you just don't know. Like, you would have a teaspoon of
Sugar.
of sugar or whatever. And actually, the dose of caffeine is tiny. Like if you ever weigh it out on micro scales, it's
200 milligrams is literally like...
it's nothing. It looks like you've spilt a bit.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So I don't think you should be able to sell raw caffeine powder over the
It's
counter.
stopped.
No, you can still get it. Go on eBay. Well, you know what? I'm going to check. I'm not chatting shit.
My protein sell it, definitely. Oh, they do. I bought some off eBay, actually.
Yeah.
Because I've got like a big... you know the Meridian nut butter tubs?
Yeah.
Kilo. I've got a tub full of that.
Yeah, you can still buy pure caffeine
It's
powder.
like 50 quid for a kilo. something like that.
Yeah, and there's. I very much doubt that there's a huge amount of backup information on these. So 25 gram caffeine powder, Holst 25 grams pure pharmaceutical grade caffeine powder.
What makes it pharmaceutical grade?
Nothing. It's bollocks. There is no warning on that listing anywhere.
No.
And I don't think that should be allowed. And I'm generally quite pro, let people do what the fuck they want, and if they fuck up, then they'll learn. But I just, in a world where things are so heavily regulated and people are so used to having the handheld, that seems like a really, really silly thing. Oh, I've been outbid on my Proton GLS Charlton. Bastard. Look at that magnificent beast.
What's that out of? That looks like the out of a film.
So,
Feature.
Laz is going to be putting together a documentary film. We're going to buy a car for under £1,000, buy and modify. And so's the garage
How
over the
much?
road. Under
I
£1,000.
thought you said £100,000. I'm like, fuck me, Rick.
No.
Where's that coming from?
Under £1,000. And then we've got to drive it to the north of Scotland and back.
This just sounds like Top Gear.
No, it's going to be called On Gear.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And then we're going to sell the cars and give the money to charity.
Brilliant, I love it.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
So you're
So
going to buy
that-
for £1,000, how much are you going to modify it?
No, the £1,000 is the budget for buying and modifying. Total budget.
You should get a Mini.
No, you can't. You know what? I thought that we'd be falling over like old rotten Jags and Mercs and stuff for that kind of money. They're not. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's really hard to get shit cars now.
No, it's not. Anything with a French badge on.
I mean, I can get an
Yeah,
Audi
that's what-
I've
A6.
used this too much today.
Why?
That's made out of cheese and baguettes.
Cheese, baguettes, white flags.
Okay, so we've been recording for 27 minutes. So we've got a good 2 minutes of content. And is there anything you want to say to like wrap this up?
It's not really. I don't know what this is.
I don't know what we've actually said.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
fine.
very detached from reality today, and it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Maybe just cut out any references to me being hanging, or
To
really,
be fair-
really blatant
okay,
ones.
So we've been recording for 27 minutes. I think there's 10 minutes in there of good stuff that won't offend too many people.
So Brexit and supplements.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
What,
Are you still
talking
recording
about
it?
Brexit.
Brexit's a fucking shit show.
It is because it's how it's been executed.
What's really funny is that we keep getting advice from like the government trade bodies, saying that actually the best way to resolve this might be for you to set up distribution centres in Europe
I have a
and
question.
employ staff in Europe, which
What
is the
would have
opposite.
been good Brexit?
Something with a bit of backbone. Okay, the way it should have been done was right. We're leaving on this day with or without a deal.
Yeah.
Sort things out with Trump and the Americans before Biden fucked everything up. Just use it as an opportunity to allow business to move forward without the regulation and the taxation of the EU. That extra layer of governance, that was the primary.
And what we've got is now an additional layer of
Exactly.
taxation and regulation.
So
on
this
top
is what
of it,
happens when you put a
exists.
conservative government in place. They fuck everything up. But the problem is, Labour are fucking useless. So they're not good.
They would have been any better.
It's essentially a case of, do you want a clown or do you want a jester running? Because that's what we've got.
For me, I was just quite happy in the EU. I know that offends Aaron's
Doesn't
soul,
no, it doesn't bother me.
and he sees me as a beta male that likes to watch his wife get fucked for saying it. That's what you're thinking. Deep down, you think I'm cook.
You enjoy that
Yeah,
sort
I
of
was going to say.
stuff. Own it. No.
I voted leave, and I've been given quite a bit of shit from my close friends and family for that.
I understand both sides of the argument. I'm not at the end of the
Well,
day.
for one, I didn't have a business that did export when I voted leave. And I think a lot of people, it's probably not affected particularly dramatically. And two, a lot of the stuff we were told early doors was either, depending on your perspective, lies or stuff we've not been able to follow through on.
What was promised to us could have been done. What's been executed is the complete opposite.
And when it got to that point, from my perspective, when it became very clear that what we were going to get wasn't what we were promised, that's the point where you have a second vote and go, right, this is what you voted for, this is what you're going to
The
get.
trouble is, you do a second vote, it undermines democracy. Because then
How is more democracy less democracy?
Okay, let's put it this way. If you have an election...
Yeah. Did we vote Boris in?
Which means you would vote him in.
Was Boris voted in?
He has won the election.
He won the election.
He won the
didn't
election,
So
yeah.
we have to stay with him now forever. Otherwise we're in the
Well, no,
market.
because we've got a set term, 4 years, or 5 years.
Okay, well, so we had a set term of an agreement as to what we were going to get with Brexit.
Exactly.
And then that's not what we're getting, so we have another vote. That's what you asked for. It's not what you're going to get. How do you feel about this?
When did we vote to go into the
If I go into a restaurant, I look at the menu and go, you know what, I like the look of that. And then the waiter brings it out and it looks like a plate of dog shit. I don't then go, well, it is what I ordered. Better fucking chow down. You go, oh, yo, I'm going to leave that. You can fuck off. Send that back. I'll stay with what I had. Fuck all. But at least it wasn't fuck all covered in dog shit. That's Brexit.
Yeah, but the thing is though, it didn't go through because of the government. You can't say you can't turn around and say to the
Watch
restaurant. You can't say to the restaurant, right? I want this dog shit, right? And then they come out and say, here's some cat shit. It's like, well, no, I wanted dog shit. It's like, well, we bought you cat shit. It's like,
But I didn't vote for any form of shit. I wanted...
you wanted low regulation, you wanted lower taxation, you wanted less government, you wanted less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I didn't get any of that.
No.
All I got...
But the reason you didn't get it was because the government who were in charge told you were going to get this, but delivered.
The only Strom person that has benefited from this, I hope you're watching, Colm, is fucking Colm from Strom Sports Island. He's laughing. He's done really well.
Yeah, I think that will come into definitely an outtake reel and something.
I hate you so much.
No, you don't.
And I just don't want to get all fucked up.
That's fair enough.
Like, I just...
won't be able to go there.
Yeah, you know when you just like, I don't want...
Yeah.
And you're not recording now, are you?
This is still recording.
Knock it off.
Yeah, okay, cool.